many countries have you been to?
I'm not too sure exactly, but in the region of 82-ish. Yeah.
82?
That's everything I own, basically. And I'm thinking, now, what do I do? Do I get up and run? And leave my
bike, yeah.
Or, do I just sit here and hopefully the elephants just keep on going? I had no intention of ever getting married. I was going to cycle till I dropped off my bike and died. That was my plan in life.
But then you got to Tanzania and you met one very lovely lady.
Yes.
And that's when you started thinking, maybe I do want a companion.
Yeah, maybe all this traveling was looking for somebody.
And I finally found her. Hey, you're watching Vibes and Visas with me, Charlie Karomi, and the one, the only Steve Jewell. What up? Steve is telling us an amazing story. This is a man who's been to 82 countries, as far as we can count.
At least, yeah.
82 countries. You were a solo traveler, loving life, being out on the road on your bike. This bike, solo, fighting elephants and rhinos and everything.
Dodging them, yeah.
Dodging them, ha. But then you got to Tanzania and you met one very lovely lady.
Yes.
And that's when you started thinking, maybe I do want a companion.
Yeah, maybe all this traveling was looking for somebody.
And I finally found her.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured in the end. I was looking for my kids.
There you go. In your head, you were just trying to scratch your itchy feet.
Yeah.
But in reality, you were looking for your kids.
Yes, I think that's what maybe the ultimate goal was without my even knowing it.
Nice.
So I've got 2 wonderful kids, wonderful wife, and it all worked out great for me. So
how are you able, because someone watching right now, there's probably a guy watching right now who has a big crush on a girl who, as you said, the first time you met your wife, she was like, no, I'm good. It's fine. How did you finally get her to talk to you?
I actually left Africa. I went back to work. I had a friend in the States that wanted some help, and I went back to America to visit him, and then Tina bumped into one of the Swedish friends I was traveling with. Yeah. And she got she asked about me and found out that I'd already left Africa, and I'd given up. I'd actually given up.
You did make an impression.
Yeah.
Because now she came looking for you.
Yes.
She was like, where's that cute boy?
Who?
where's that cute man I met that time? Where is he?
With no hair.
With no hair and covered in dust.
Dust, yeah.
So she met a friend of yours and got your email
address, yeah. So we corresponded with email, and we seemed to get on great together via the internet. Yeah. And then I said to Tina, I said, look, if you want to come to England, we haven't dated. We just sat in the internet cafe and spoke. So I said to her, no strings attached. Yeah. I'll help you get a visa. Yeah. You come to England, I'll pay for your airfare, and when you get here, you can do what you like.
Just come visit.
Just come.
Come.
Yeah, I said, I'll help you get a visa. I'll send you all the paperwork you need. I'll send you an invitation. I'll send you my bank details. And you can take it to the embassy. We're filling out the forms, which took like a year and a half. Yeah. And I want to hear say, well, with a bit of luck, you'll be here in January for my birthday. No, okay, you'll be here for such and such for Easter. Oh, you'll be here for, Halloween. And then it'll be my next birthday. And then it went on for a year and a half before she could get a visa. Yeah. And finally she got the visa, and so I sent her the money. Actually, it was my birthday. I can't remember what birthday it would have been. It was the 16th of January, I know, because it was my birthday. Yeah. And I sent her the money for an airfare to come to England. Yeah. And maybe it might have been a few dollars more, but couldn't have been much. Yeah. And I said, well, she either comes or she doesn't. So I trusted her with quite a portion of cash.
And she trusted that you would be there.
And I would be here at the other end, yeah.
And she came over?
She came over on, I think it was about the 18th of March. Mm-hmm. We met at Heathrow Airport.
Oh,
and we had our first kiss at Heathrow Airport. Hadn't kissed, hadn't dated. And we married 6 weeks later.
Stop. 6 weeks?
6 weeks later, yeah. 4th of May. Yeah.
In the UK?
In the UK.
Okay.
And they told her when she got a visa she wasn't to get married. They said, you got to go.
But you're not going to tell her. She's in love.
Well, you don't tell me I don't get married.
Yeah.
I'll decide. I'm British.
Come on.
I'll decide who I'm married and when I'm going to marry.
No one stands in the way of love.
Yeah.
So you got married in the UK. So my question is this. We're in the UK. Steve and Tina are married. How did you end up in Canada? Explain to me how that went.
Well, 9/11, when me and my dad were travelling in our motorhome in Canada, but we couldn't get back into the States because of visa problems with the Americans. They're kind of sticky, especially after 9/11. So
the motorhome is just chilling?
It's stuck in our friend's backyard, our back garden. So, and I wanted to get back to my motorhome. It was a big investment. I didn't want to lose it. If I couldn't use it, then maybe I could sell it. And I said to Tina, how'd you fancy doing some travelling? And she was all up for it.
She was like, yeah.
Yeah, so first of all, we went to the American embassy and got turned down. They wouldn't give her a visa to come to America.
Aww.
So we're all depressed, and we walked down to the Canadian embassy. It's just the next block down. Got into the embassy, put our application in, and we're sitting there holding hands. Only literally just been married a few days, basically.
Yeah.
Because we've been together got married. Now we're married, and now we wanted to go off to pick my motorhome up and have a honeymoon and start our life.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there all forlorn, all in lovey-dovey, I guess, worried sick that we're going to get a visa or not, because my motorhome is on the line here.
Yeah.
And the lady gave Tina I didn't need a visa, I already British passport, didn't need it.
Yeah.
Give Tina a visa to come to Canada. So...
Canadians, eh?
Yeah, brilliant.
Canadians,
brilliant.
Eh?
Yeah. Americans, not so good. Well, not the embassy anyway. Got the passport. We booked our tickets, and we flew to Canada. Picked up the motorhome. My mum and dad turned up. We're on our honeymoon, and while we were there, we had friends in Vancouver that give us some work so we can make some money, and then
So a honeymoon turned into like a longer time period.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I don't know what plan we had. I don't think we even had a plan. It was just be together and pick up the motorhome and see what we could do.
Yeah.
And carry on basically as I normally do. I find a job, I make some money, and then I move on and I find another job, make some more money, and I just keep going. And
as I'm telling you, I keep learning things as you explain your story. Another thing that you're showing me is sometimes people get too fixated on having a plan, like this has to happen and this has to happen. But sometimes not having a plan is a plan.
Yeah, I had no plan. I don't like planning. When we talk about going away, Tina wants to go maybe visit her mum and dad. She's thinking about next year or next Christmas.
Back in Tanzania.
Back in Tanzania, maybe this Christmas, maybe next Christmas. I don't want to plan for December.
Because it's so far away.
Yeah, if I go, let's go next week. Let's go on a plane and go. That's my idea, you know.
So when you went to Canada, you were like, let's go have a honeymoon and then see where it goes.
Yeah, and then when we come back from Canada with the car, we met my dad at in Saywood, and he said, "Here, Steve, have you seen the price of these houses? You can buy a 3-bedroom house here for the price of a garage in England." So I had a look, and I said to Tina, "How'd you fancy living in Canada?" She said, I don't mind.
Because I guess the plan initially was to settle in the UK, but then you realized that it's
we couldn't afford it.
You couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And there's this beautiful town in a beautiful place in Canada where you can get a house.
A 3-bedroom house.
For the same price as a
garage in England, yeah. I could either park my car in a little garage in England, or we could bring up a family in a house with the views of the Johnson Straits, of snow-capped mountain, forests, and the river.
I wonder what you chose. I wonder. That's such a tough choice.
Yeah, that is a tough choice, yeah. And so with the help from my dad, he gave me half the money towards the house.
Yeah.
I'd been saving... I guess I'd been saving for 25 years. I had money in an account. I don't know what that account was for. They had no plan for it.
Yeah.
But the money was there, and Tina was here. Dad was willing to help, and we just bought the house outright. But we didn't have visas to live here. We could only stay as tourists. I didn't have a work permit. But,
wait, and you just bought a house in a place where you just have a tourist
got married.
Visa.
Yeah, on tourist visas. And that doesn't give you the right to live here.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you the right to work.
But you tell them, but we have a house.
Yeah, we have a house, and you can. At the time, you could get a visa for 6 months, and you could extend it twice.
Yeah.
So you could stay 18 months.
Yeah.
Without breaking any laws.
But after that, you have to. You have
to
go.
leave.
Something else. I keep pointing out the lessons that I'm learning. Something else that I've learned is put money away. If you don't need to use money, only use what you need.
Yeah.
If you have extra, if you have a bit of extra cash, put it away. You never know when you need it.
I never have my bank account go below a certain amount of money.
Rainy day fund.
There's a rainy day. I call it my financial parachute.
Nice.
If it all goes pear-shaped, I'm going to have enough money to get on a plane and go home, or wherever home is. I'm going to have enough money to look after myself. And of course, with a wife and kids, you have to have a bigger parachute.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have a work permit. Or
if you just have a tourist visa, you need that parachute. So you buy the house in, what was the name of the
Saywood.
Saywood. You buy the house in Saywood. Is that when you decided to settle permanently in Canada?
We wanted to settle permanently, but we also wanted to see what Tanzania was going to be like. So, because we had to leave, this was 2002. We went back in 2003. Well, in 2003, Ethan was born. 6 weeks after Ethan was born, we went back to Canada, back to our house, and we could have up to a year and a half there. But the winters are crap. So I think we stayed till the start of winter, then we buggered off to Africa. Tina wants to show her mum and dad Ethan, our newborn. He's a year old now. And we wanted to get away from the winter.
Of course, the winters here are not nice.
They're not good.
Yeah.
No. So we're also looking into business opportunities for living in Tanzania. I don't speak the language.
Yeah. Hauelewi Kiswahili, ongea Kiswahili.
I don't speak any Swahili. A few.
You can pick up a few words,
little words. I can't even count. I just found it a very difficult language. With Tina to translate, I didn't need to. It's better that when anything needs to be bartered for, Tina does it, because as soon as I show my white face, the price doubles.
It's like, for you, sir? Special price.
Yeah.
All right, let's at least teach you 1 to 10. Do you know how to count from 1 to 10?
Umbili.
So, no, that's moja.
Moja, umbili, tatu, nani. Ne. Tano. Sita, Saba, Nane,
Tisa. That's 9. Then 10 is, you know it, Kumi. There you go.
Yeah.
We'll make a Swahili man out of you.
I can teach you to count to 5 in Japanese in like 10 seconds.
Ichi,
ni, san, shi, go.
Ichi, ni, san, shi, go. Yeah. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go.
Less than 5 seconds.
Ichi, ni, san, shi, go. We're learning.
Yeah,
I love it.
I've never even been to Japan.
I love it. So, okay. You went to winter, you went to Tanzania. So how did that process go of deciding to settle in Canada?
Well, in Africa, we tried to buy a house. We're looking at buying something, renting, and it's just full of... it's different. You got lots of con men, people you can't trust, people maybe you don't know if you can trust them. Someone's trying to show you a house to sell, and the guy who owns the house is in the garden saying, what do you guys want?
Why are you selling my house?
Yeah, exactly. That actually happened. Some guy's trying to sell this house, and the owner's in the other side of the fence watering his grass. They say, what's happening here? This guy's trying to sell your house. So it didn't work out.
Yeah.
We rented a really nice house in Mile 6.
Mile Sita,
It's from Moshi.
Yeah.
It's like a 5-bedroom home, 3,000 square feet.
Beautiful.
$100 a month. Views of Kilimanjaro. A drive you could park like a dozen Land Rovers on, big gates, a roof over the gates.
Yeah.
Nobody could. If Tina could dig up a photo, you would never believe we only paid $100 a month.
So how come you didn't settle there?
I had to go back to work.
Yeah.
Tina got pregnant with Emily, and we wanted to have Emily in England.
Yeah.
More for I don't know, maybe hospital or safety reasons.
Because we've had a lot about the NHS and how good it is.
Yeah, it's all free.
Yeah.
So it just made sense to. Plus, the English government give you money when you have kids.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, you get like £1,000, is it, or something like that, to put in their account for their educational fund.
Ah, and the English government loves kids.
Yeah,
it's like, yes.
Child benefit.
Yeah.
Plus, I had to go back to England to get work because I was running out of money. So I left Tina in Africa for like 2 or 3 months, which was really tough. But I had to go back, I had to earn money.
Yeah.
And then she flew back in, had Emily, and I think after Emily, we went back to Canada.
To Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we had a house here in Canada, and Tina wanted to be here. And so we had Emily, so we come back to Canada to look for a work, to find a job. And went around the building sites. And then eventually, I found a real estate agent that was willing to give me a job. And she did the paperwork, give me the labour market opinion, which I sent off to immigration. They sent me a work permit.
To do work as a
carpenter.
As a carpenter.
And I'm a skilled carpenter. We got a work permit, and that meant we could stay and work.
Nice. Yeah. And I can't imagine Tina's process was as easy as...
Yeah, because I was a skilled worker. I'm limited to working for the real estate agent.
Yeah.
As I'm a skilled worker, Tina gets an open work permit. She can work for anyone. And the kids get study permits so they can go to school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And Canada is another country that loves the kids.
Definitely.
Canada, if you're like, you have kids, come over.
Yeah, they want the kids. They want the kids here.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
So, what year was this?
Oh, Emily would have been 2006, because Emily was born in 2006.
Okay, so that's around 2006.
Yeah.
Okay, I want us to pitch another milestone, another mile marker here. This is our Milicita. This is the second part of our story.
Yeah.
I want us to pause the story there. Where we are now, we've had our second-born child, a beautiful daughter.
Yeah, Emily.
You've come back to Canada. Yeah. You've gotten a work permit. You want to settle here. You want to start the life here as a family here.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll talk about Steve's journey to citizenship in Canada, because you're now a Canadian citizen.
Yes, now we are. Yeah, we're full citizens.
Technically, you're not an immigrant. But once an immigrant, always an immigrant.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the process that Steve went through, Steve and his family went through to becoming Canadian citizens, and what their plan is, because as we said, Steve has itchy feet. Have they stopped itching? Will he stay in Canada? Will he keep moving around? As you said, how many countries left in the world for you to travel?
Another 120 at least, yeah. So not even halfway.
Not even halfway. So we'll talk about all of that right here with Steve Jewell on Vibes and Visas. Don't you go anywhere.
And now my love for you is so strong.